Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Shit's about to hit the fan. Welcome to Unsanctioned Thursdays on Wrestling with Freddie.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Unsanctioned Thursdays. The episodes that exist because of you, the listeners, and you guys downloading these, giving us those reviews and all that love, sharing it with your friends. We appreciate you. We love you guys. Now it's time for some Thursday news, and we're going to talk Premier Streaming Network Showcase, y'all. This is the company that I'm a co-owner in, the Premier Streaming Network. You guys download the app. You can subscribe to the app. And on September 9th, they're having their first showcase. It's in Metuchen. I can never say it right. I want to call it Metuchen. It's Metuchen. Sometimes I'll say Metuchen. I have said it right maybe twice in my life, but it's in South New Jersey, and they're having their first championship match with the men and the women. Happy to announce here on the show that the men's championship match is the Indie God Matt Cardona versus the King of the Indies Colt Cabana, and the women's championship matches are Lady Ellering and Lady Delander, who you guys both saw on NXT. Both women are amazing. They're going to be awesome matches. That's September 9th. The Premier Streaming Network is available on lots of platforms and devices, including the web, iOS and Android TV, Apple TV, Roku, and many smart TVs. It's free to download, and pay-per-view events are available as members. You guys can even watch Slammiversary and watch Bully Ray whip some ass this weekend. What, Jeff? Talk to me, dude. You want to watch Bully Ray kick some ass, formerly known as Bubba Ray?
I love Bubba Ray. I love the Dudleys. Dude, super underrated. Always have.
Wrestling fans don't underrate them, but people who don't understand wrestling wouldn't get them, and they'd be underappreciated, I feel like. Because I feel like wrestling fans freaking love the Dudley Boys.
Hey, so Matt Cardona and Colt Cabana.
Yeah, let's talk about these dudes.
One's called the King of the Indies, and one's called the Indie God, and I guess they're gonna try to figure that out with their match. But here's the thing, King, not as good as God, right? Like God beats King.
No, unless you're an atheist.
Yeah. Just
maybe Cole Cabana doesn't believe, he's like, yeah, okay, you're a god, bro.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, he's all king of the castle. Oh, big whoop, you think you're a god.
They have a cool story. Like Colt Cabana really innovated independent wrestling in the form of merchandise. He was one of the first to pave a path and show how successful you could still be while doing merch on the indie tours. And a lot of wrestlers sort of followed that model in suit. And so that's why a lot of people call him King of the Indies. And then Cardona comes in, he leaves WWE, he goes to, I think it was GCW, and does that crazy death match against Nick Gage, where he's just bleeding everywhere and his friggin' mom's in the audience. And because he bled the way he did and his willingness to, everybody in the hardcore world just fell in love with him and started giving him all this love. And then he just started collecting belts in all these indie promotions. And then he started doing the merch thing that Colt does. So then he's basically, yeah, you created it, but I evolved it. And now I'm the indie god. And Colt Cabana's like, what? Fuck you. You better not forget my name. And he's like, your name's already been forgotten, you son of a. And now they can beef it out and we can see who truly is the champion. And they'll get the first ever Premier Championship Network championship belt. Hopefully I can get a replica and show it off to y'all.
I like that. Those guys are both great guys too. I've met both of them and they're nice guys.
I have too, man. I worked at WWE, sadly, during his Scotty Goldman phase, which was not good. I didn't have to write for it, but they asked me to help fix it a few times. And it was very difficult to give him what he deserved within the parameters that were unmovable as far as Vince was concerned. And it was really hard to get him over based on what they were going to allow him to do. And he knew it. He still went after it and went out there. Chris DeJoseph, DJ, knew it, but he still committed everything he could. And I knew it, and I tried my best, but we just couldn't get that. We couldn't get that gimmick through, man. We just couldn't get it to work.
I might be misremembering your opinion on this subject, but I'm pretty sure you're not crazy about death matches, right? Because you just referenced
the blood is so I like fake blood. Okay. I like horror movies where all the blood is used up and the next horror movie's all right, go get some blood. And I'm sorry, it was all used up on that movie Freddie liked. But when it's real blood, I'm like, oh God, I know that guy. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, it's just hard, man. It's really hard for me to watch. I'm soft, man. I'm SAWFT.
No, you're not. But I was right in remembering that you're not crazy about the death matches. Guys like me grew up in the early 90s, late 80s, kind of like was when we were like learning things and finding our own interests. Like ECW, the success of ECW was just so gritty and extreme. We just talked about the Dudley Boys, which no one gives any credit to Spike Dudley as one of the Dudley Boys who took the best bumps and did the craziest things.
The guy was like Gumby, man. He just body would fold and bend.
And he's fine. He's not even like stiff now. Like he doesn't have any like long-term injuries or anything. The guy's, whatever. But what I was going to say about this, what's keeping for AEW and WWF for that matter, for not having also like a death match belt? And there's like, there's like one death match per pay-per-view, or there's like, why don't put a storyline like that? Put a belt on Nick Cage.
AEW did a storyline with Chris Jericho and Nick Cage where he came in and they actually fought and had basically a death match. So
Nice.
They've done it, but WWE's publicly traded, man. They will never,
Really,
ever have a death match. Ever. It's not even up for debate. I guarantee you it wouldn't even be up for debate. If you brought it up as a writer in the creative room, they wouldn't even let you bring it to Vince. Like it's just, it wouldn't, they're too scared of that with stockholders. You can blame them for it, or you can understand that that's just the way it is for it to be as successful as it's become.
these wrestlers can get hurt anyways, right? These wrestlers, like everything they're doing is they're letting the son of Vince jump off 40-foot ladders and stuff. It's like, I can't imagine. Because a death match is just the same kind of danger, except you've added
but
like
there's
little
so much
little
blood,
tricks,
dude. There's
thumbtacks
so much blood.
Yeah,
Thumbtack
stuff like that.
They've done WWE's done thumbtacks a couple times in the modern era, but not modern era, but in the last like 10 years, I feel like I've seen a thumbtack match, or that could have been AEW. It's all blurring together, but they're way against that super gory kind of blood, and not for the reasons I am. I'm not even against it. It's just really hard for me to watch. Like, however you want to wrestle.
Just something might want to think about if anyone out there might be starting some sort of wrestling federation. Just something.
Look, for my own, based on like the style it is, there'll definitely be a death match there.
Nice.
I know I've said that
You heard it
there
here.
wouldn't be, but just the style of that it's going to be there will be. It'll just be hard, but I know how much people love those, and you're seeing the literal sacrifice of an artist you like right in front of you, just for you.
Yeah.
And that means a lot. And there's not, even when there's no TV cameras, and these men and women are still willing to do that for you, for an experience that 60 people will see, 1,000 people will see, 2,000 people will see, 500 people will see, but they're still willing to bleed, sweat, cry, all on that canvas they call a ring. And that's why I just love professional wrestlers and stand-up comics so much. I think those are the two hardest art forms, because you're getting an immediate response, and they let you know right away whether they're connecting with you and there's been trust established, or whether they just simply do not. And it is brutal and cold and really hard to succeed through that. You know, hecklers are like whats. You know what I mean? It's like the wrestler can either deal with the what, and the comic can either deal with the heckler, or they cannot. And you can lose a show real quick. So I love wrestlers so much for what they deal with. Yeah, you can speak on it better than me.
No, speaking on that, I was like, we didn't get a chance to talk about it last episode. That's why we appreciate you guys coming to these Thursday bonus stuff. Karrion Kross, you feel like is that happening with him? You feel like they're not connecting with him, or what is going on with your boy?
I don't think creative has a story for him that can get past Vince, I think, is what's happening.
So Vince is burying him, or like you think?
I don't know if it's Vince or creative, but I know he can work. I know he can connect with fans. Everyone knows that because everyone's seen that. In NXT, it worked at a high level. So yeah, I don't know to say that I'm stoked for him. No, I wish they had something better for him. It's been even when they had a story for him, it wasn't one that you could tell it wasn't one they were incredibly behind based on where it was placed in the show. So, I hope, like Shinsuke, man, or Shinsuke, sorry for the extra syllable there. When they don't have a story for you, it's tough. You're just there for a quick win or a quick loss. And that's unfortunate, but that's the business, man. And I wish it wasn't that way. And I'd like to think, hey, everyone deserves a story. They're there, they've earned it. But it's not that simple, man. It's hard to get ideas through from the room that they're conceptualized in to television that week. It's very, very difficult. There's your boss who's the head of creative, or not head of creative, but head of your writer's room, that has to sign off on it and say, yeah, this will be a part of the episode we bring to TV. Then when you get to TV, there's producers, former wrestlers that help build the matches and help tell the stories as well. And they may have opinions on it. And then there's the table side. I call the table side where like the director, the co-director, the head writer, and Vince sit. And then they have their say. And to get through all that unscathed, it's borderline impossible. I did it with the Jeff Hardy thing, and that was the only story ever that got through because for whatever reason, they just got behind Jeff and this idea behind him. So they left us alone. But otherwise, man, it was like pulling teeth, dude. It was so hard to get someone to believe in an idea when they don't get it.
Yeah, I really like Karrion Kross. I know you love Karrion Kross, so we're hoping that he gets more than
a
30-second match with AJ Styles where he has to lose. So hopefully.
By the way, what are they doing with AJ Styles? He just wrestled Seth Rollins for the freaking heavyweight championship, and then no story.
Same with LA Knight. Took on Hit Row by himself. Couldn't be more over. The second he came out, the second they heard his music, the crowd was just loving it. And like he did the thing where he licks his index finger and goes, LA Knight, points for each syllable. Dude, he's coming up with great things. I also like his move set. I don't know what they're called. I don't know what these moves are called, but it's kind of like it looks like a Stone Cold Stunner, but he lays down with you as he kind of pulls you.
Yeah, it's like face plants you.
Oh, such a cool. Anyways, big LA Knight fan. I don't know why they're not giving him more stuff. He's super over, and I don't know why they're not. Why Karrion Kross isn't just over in general with everybody. But whatever.
Well, Jeff, we didn't get to a single thing that we planned on talking about.
That's the beauty of our.
I do want to say
podcast.
I want to say Collision may be quickly becoming my favorite television show for wrestling. I love the opening. I didn't think I was going to like it. They've stayed consistent with it. I love the way they talk to camera and then start the show now. And we got CM Punk, Samoa Joe, and that match was awesome.
Long
and CM
awaited.
Punk took a whooping. And he was bleeding for real out his mouth too. He took a whooping and his promo was dead money.
Wait, whose promo? You thought CM Punk's was money?
I liked it outside of the ring, where the people are. You didn't dig it?
No,
we'll get into it. We'll get into it in our next episode.
Yeah,
I like that promo.
I like him and whatever, but like God, he's not as good on the mic as he thinks he is. He thinks he's real. I mean, like,
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Like, he thinks he's the best that's ever spoken in a mic and lets you know that. But I still like the promo. I just like the style of it. He never stepped in the ring until he wrestled.
The only name I want to hear tonight is Owen Hart. Everyone's like, what the hell are you talking about?
Come on, man. He's in Regina, Canada, man.
Yeah, you pandering, you little. I thought you weren't the Panda. You're the Punk guy. You're not Punk. Couldn't be less Punk than be like, I only want to hear Owen Hart's name. I was like, shut up.
But it is the Owen Hart tournament,
yeah,
so I'll give
Hart.
Him some latitude.
I bet they never even
I'll
met.
give him some latitude. Jesus Christ. I love you, dude. Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll see y'all next week.
We're out.
Peace. This has been a production of iHeart's My Cultura Podcast Network. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.